So, actually, I'll just move over here. This works better. Hang on, I need a snazzy hat.
I have one in my car, actually.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so let me just start right now and say that if you've not seen this movie, thank you, creepy headlights.
Extra.
Thank you, Phil Lights.
If you have not seen this movie and have any intentions of seeing it, stop now and just go see it.
Yeah.
Because this is absolutely worth your time and your money.
This is if you want the like basic wham bam review, basically know that this is an extremely effective and simple horror. It's creepy, scary movie. Like it's amazing.
Like this is the most terrifying movie I have seen in years, hands down.
This is it manages to do so with a minimal amount of blood. Even like it's unbelievable.
Or music, even like this thing barely has a soundtrack.
Well, it has great sound design though.
It does. The sound is amazing.
But for a random little indie Australian film that's being shown in like 5 theaters within a 100-mile radius of here,
pretty much, we had to go
seek it out.
We had to like go out of our way to go find this movie because like it's playing one dinky little theater in Cupertino.
I'm the only one who knew about this piece, apparently.
Apparently, yeah.
I knew about it.
Well,
I just haven't been here in a while.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even know this place existed, and even then I was like, "Where the hell is it?" I had to get up and wander around before I finally found the fucking place.
Well, but there's like one theater in Berkeley and one theater in Santa Cruz and one theater in fucking Monterey and San Francisco. Like, it's the tiny ass venues that show these things. Not even the Aquarius in Palo Alto even skipped.
Yeah, I think it's actually on. I think it was also on demand.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is available at home. Actually, yeah, fucking go rent it. It's amazing.
It's on demand. You have no excuse not to.
Yeah, go.
Anyway, so yeah,
if you have surround sound,
it's like we're gonna try not to get into too many spoilers.
How about we try to get to a certain point discussing it spoiler free for people who just want an impression of the film, and then at a certain point we're like, all right. Now all hands off. We're going to discuss it full on.
And I'll put a commercial break so that way you'll know exactly when we get to that point. So yeah. Okay.
Right.
So yeah, this movie is terrifying. Jesus fucking Christ.
And something interesting that kept coming to mind throughout the movie. Well, okay, let's go with the basic premise to start with.
Yes.
Right?
Okay, so the movie is about a mother and her deeply disturbed son.
Widow,
yeah. Because like her husband died on the way to the hospital to deliver her son, so therefore she, quite frankly, like secretly hates her son. Yeah. Basically, and her son has some serious behavioral issues.
There's some residual. I don't know if I'd say she hates her son, but
like
there's
residual
definitely
blame.
She hasn't dealt with that tragedy.
Yeah.
It's still part of what she's going through, and she's very alone, and she's very. She's watching shows and stuff about romantic shit going on, and she's just very lonely and very very stressed by the fact that this kid can't get along with any of his schoolmates, and they say he's weird. It's like it's almost like it's a similar struggle to, I mean, if you've seen Parenthood.
Yeah.
The struggle they have with Max.
Yeah.
The struggle that they have with a kid that just doesn't fit in. Like, I mean, on Parenthood, of course, he has Asperger's, but like, it's just having a kid that just doesn't fit.
Yeah, and especially when it's like homemade crossbows to school.
Yeah,
and it has like
catapult.
A catapult, like a backpack catapult.
That was a badass little.
I know.
Catapult, all right.
I was saying
that kid was strangely talented.
I know. Like it's like this kid's gonna grow to be like a Ghostbuster.
The weird ones are. He loves magic and shit. Sleight of hand. But anyway, but yeah. So one night the kid gets a book called The Babadook off the shelf.
It's called Mr. Babadook.
Mr. Babadook, that's right. Yeah. And she reads it, and as she's reading it, she realizes, wait, this is kind of fucked up for a kid's book.
Oh, yes!
And
I love the transition.
The kid is begging her to read the book, and she's like, no, I don't know about this. And he's like, but you said I could choose. And she gets further, and it gets creepier and creepier.
And the next shot is him crying on her lap.
And he's just screaming in fear into her lap as she's trying to read over him. Like,
she's trying to read another book.
Yeah, it's
But the funny part is I actually have some books back here. This is for work, actually, just so you guys
Oh
know.
my-
The night before Christmas. I'm not sure.
Dude,
That's not
now you
quite
have to make
Babadook
him
level.
Yeah, now you have to make a Mr. Babadook book for
Yeah. But the,
Oh yeah, that'll go over well. Fuck it, it's my last few weeks. I'll do whatever I want.
yeah, the
Hello, children. We're gonna read Mr. Babadook and how he's gonna murder you in your sleep.
right.
Merry Christmas.
it's part of the holidays. It's red.
What was it? That's,
He knows when you are sleeping. He knows when you're awake.
And he doesn't give a
give
fuck.
you presents. He pulls out your spleen. The end. Merry Christmas. Bye.
But like it's the first off, I have that's some even the art in the book is
The art is
profoundly
strange.
unsettling.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where like it's
If you have like it's that inhuman sketchiness. It's just it.
you know
always,
those old scary stories to read in the dark, the Alvin Schwartz stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Not quite on that level, but that same kind of thing where you're like, this is a drawing, but
It's like, well, here's what the movie does, and it does very, very well. It's the
it's
fact
very effective. At
very
getting under
effective.
your
It's like
skin.
it doesn't rely on the horror movie cliches we've seen a million times. There are no jump scares.
Yeah, there are.
Well, maybe like one or two, but it's done bare minimum.
Yeah,
And-
it is done properly.
Like there's no over the top like soundtrack score that tells you when
It's
the
not-
scare is going to happen.
It's not
Yeah.
cheap.
Like it's focused mainly on developing good characters with great actors behind them.
Yeah.
And building and just a tense atmosphere where you generally have no idea what's going to happen.
The acting,
is phenomenal.
unbelievable.
I'm not gonna lie though, I was really annoyed at that kid in the beginning, but
Yeah, of course he was supposed
Yeah.
to be.
yeah, that's the thing that impressed me though, is that they somehow found a way to like, you know, even despite all that, they still make you like care and fear for this kid.
Well, yeah,
I
because
mean,
like there's a weird transition from the first half is like, oh, that poor mom. The second half is, oh, that poor kid.
yeah. Like I was thinking that too, how they kind of made that switch of psychosis, like the kid. Never mind.
Well,
Yeah, but
it's-
that's spoiler territory. Get to that in a little while.
it's
It's basically some very Vincenzo Natali-esque.
it gets to the point where it becomes hard to separate because the mom starts to be unable to sleep because she starts to get creeped out by the Babadook and think that it might be real, and that's like basic plot synopsis
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, as she slowly starts to lose her grasp on like, and she gets caught in the worst moments by people. You know that point, like you know when you're a kid and you're watching like some PG-13 movie for the first time, and like. You know, the whole movie's great, and then there's like the half-minute sex scene, and your parents walk in for just that scene, and then they're like, "What are you watching? This is terrible. I'm not letting you watch other stuff." And then they walk out and let you watch the rest anyway, and it's fine the rest of the movie. Yeah, she has this kind of timing with people, really. They catch her at the moment that she's just gotten frustrated or annoyed or bored and just decides to fuck it. But yeah, it's the kid doesn't get
in
along.
one case, literally, but that's a whole other.
The kid doesn't get along with the other friends at school. He ends up getting his ass kicked out.
Yeah.
And basically alienates all people that are associated with the family just because he won't stop talking about the Babadook. And basically it gets to the point where the movie just moves into the house. And it's just in the house with the mom and the kid and both of their just fucked up heads.
Oh, don't forget the dog.
Oh yeah, the dog.
Dog.
Well, it's the dog. It's not much.
Hey,
Hey, no. I mean, like, it's a family pet, yeah, but it's not, like, gonna be, like, you know, oh, I'm also experiencing the Babadook thing.
Well,
I don't know what's going on. Like,
They kind of do. Like, they make the thing to be kind of like that little...
like it's almost
Beacon.
like a ghost sensor. Dogs are apparently like all ghost sensors in these movies.
no, it's a traditional thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dogs can sense supernatural shit if you believe in supernatural shit.
Yeah.
So, they're sensitive to it or whatever. But,
Yeah.
like, it makes amazing use of lighting.
Oh, yeah.
The house is the way they shoot the house.
Oh yeah, like
The
it just
cinematography in this movie is
it just
like,
really just
quietly brilliant.
builds
Yeah.
a great atmosphere
Yeah.
where like
Yeah.
anything can happen, and that's
Yeah.
what like
Much like-
this is like the only scary like horror movie I've seen in years where I had no clue what was coming next.
Yeah.
And that is a very special thing if a horror movie can pull that off.
And you don't actually know what's happening.
You don't know what's happening, you don't know where it's going, you don't know how it's going to end. It keeps you like it just really just it grabs you and just holds you there.
There are sequences in the movie that I'm still not sure if they were a dream or not.
Like,
because she was having some nightmare visions for a little while.
Yeah,
and it reminds me of for people who've been playing video games for a while, Silent Hill 4, The Room.
Yeah.
If you've gone through that,
is that demo thing that was on PS4? Or?
No, that's totally different and new. That's different.
No, this is an older one. It's basically the majority of the thing takes place in an apartment room.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
This dude wakes up one morning and finds that he's chained the door to his apartment shut, and it just says, "Don't go outside." He apparently did this himself, and he doesn't remember. And you just watch.
I don't remember that.
Well, you watch what goes on. You watch what goes on outside your window and things, and everything seems normal. But as the game progresses, and you're able to escape the room into like alternate dimension or whatever, Silent Hill. But you keep on being returned to the room, and each time you get back to the room, it's a little more unsettling and unreal until like. It just gets way too much. It's very, very distinct little feeling of you don't know whether or not you're losing that at your mind for a little while, and the movie does a really great job of conveying that.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of want to play this game now, to be honest.
Oh, dude, it is so good.
I'll let you borrow it.
Yeah.
Which system is it on?
Xbox, PlayStation
PS2,
and if you can find a PC, but good luck with that.
If you can find a PC. It's like the most common thing of those three still
find
have.
a copy on PC.
Oh, well,
and even then, it's expensive as hell.
Really? I wouldn't take it to be one of those rare things.
On average, I've seen about $50.
No shit. Well,
yeah.
Anyway, Babadook, and God, the points where you see the thing,
are terrifying. You don't even really get a clear picture of it.
No, you never get a clear picture of it. Like it's. God, where it just...
Again, it has these very just creepy, nightmarish movements. It's like...
Yeah.
It's the thing that I hate about spiders. It's the way they move.
No, it's moving like the picture book, and that was very effective. And not to mention just the sound.
Holy shit! I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, you didn't realize like the way the hand moves, like exactly like it does in the picture.
Yeah, no, I didn't realize that. But it's. I don't know. I was thinking almost more like a Jacob's Ladder kind of.
Yeah. Oh, speaking. Okay, I'm not even gonna continue about that, but it does make a bit of a reference.
But it's even like, and watch about the sound design in particular. The stuff they do with the stuff they do with the sound is very, very clever, and just helps build that tension, help build that atmosphere.
Like you said,
because every time even when they're reading the book, they have this very tense building sound that develops as they flip through the pages, and it immediately stops as soon as she puts the book away somewhere. And I thought that was very, very clever.
That's what notice. They had like this other just quiet till just like not deafening, but just extremely loud build, and then just, as you said, just kind of like cuts off.
It is deafening in the same way that silence can be.
Yeah.
Well,
which they use a lot of too.
Yeah,
just having like
it's extremely effective. It's that same way where things are too quiet to the point where you just start.
Like
it becomes almost suffocating. Yeah, it's like that, but with subtle sounds in the background.
It's like, but the way that sound kind of works in this movie, like I was mentioning in the book, though, is that by just having the sound stop when you put the book away, like almost establish it more as a universal presence rather than just a like monster movie moment kind of thing. Yeah, like it feels like this thing can control everything around it.
It really is a boogeyman kind of concept that works effectively without being. It's really refreshing to see a movie monster that's not like some variation of a zombie or a vampire or werewolf or something. It's really like. It's barely even a poltergeist or whatever.
This is pure psychological horror.
Yeah, this is
at its pure.
Very effective. Very effective.
God, Australia gets such great independent movies sometimes.
Yeah, they do.
It's like that Rogue was an Animal Kingdom.
Well, I mean, I guess when you live in a country where everything's trying to kill you, you gotta be creative.
Pinprick. Pinprick was a good one.
I will look that up.
You should. It's about a girl who a teenage girl who's like 13 or something. Who there's like a drifter, or you don't really know who he is. He's like some dude on the run from the law or something. He doesn't want to be found, and he's living in her closet, and she's friends with him, and she's like bringing him food and stuff, and it's just really uncomfortable to have this grown-ass man that you don't know if he's a murderer or something, just sitting there talking casually with this girl as her mom's in the kitchen with no fucking clue. Like, it's it's really interesting. I don't know if it's still on Netflix. I saw it on Netflix, but yeah. But Australian indie films have been doing some really crazy things recently.
What's
really
it called?
effective. Pinprick.
Pinprick.
But yeah, they've gotten really good at having this really odd feeling of discomfort.
Yeah.
And just isolation, I think, too.
Yeah, that too. Because when you're out in a place like that, you get used to the idea of, it's almost like living in a more rural town here. It's towns. If you're not living in Sydney or, the whole East Coast, you're pretty much in the equivalent of Texas, I guess.
I mean, like, I live in a rural neighborhood like that, whereas, like, you walk outside, not a sound anywhere, and it's really
I'm never coming over to your house. I'm too much of a city boy at this point. I can't.
Walk outside, literally every footstep you make echoes down the street.
I watch too much shit like this, because, like, I've seen too many things at this point where if there's nothing but the crunching of my footsteps, any rustle makes me wish I had a gun. And even if I know that the gun probably wouldn't work in my mind with whatever it's creating. So,
Fair enough.
But yeah, anyway, what do you guys think? Do we want to go into spoiler territory?
Fuck it, let's go to spoiler territory. We're gonna take a commercial break.
Spoiler time!
We're gonna go into spoilers. So,
oh my god.
So let's see. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, spoiler.
It's fucking real.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's not fucking. Oh my god.
You've been waiting to say that for.
Oh my god. It's.
And it lives in their basement.
Oh my god, dude. The fact that because the movie does a really good job for a very long time of making you wonder what the fuck is going on. Is the mom losing her mind?
Yeah.
And she is, because she's being fucking possessed. And there's a point where it kind of switches and you suddenly realize this is not just real. This is capable of doing everything you're scared it can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And dude, making me pee.
So good.
And because, like, what happens is she reads the book and, like, immediately her son instantly just believes it wholeheartedly and keeps talking about non-stop. And then finally, like, slowly, she kind of starts to believe it. And eventually the point where she rips up the Mr. Babadook book and throws it away.
Oh, God.
No, that's you're skipping.
Yeah.
What's very important is that she gets so freaked out at a certain point by the paranoia and stuff that she just takes the Babadook book, tears it the fuck up, throws it in the trash.
Because there are things where, like, the kid just, like, starts having physical reactions, like, in front of her.
Yeah, like almost like a stroke or something like that.
Like he had a seizure at one point. Yeah.
Like, he basically just goes into shock. Like, he's like, no, don't stay away. He just completely, like, locks up. He just looks like a freaking dead cockroach.
When he's sitting in the car and, like, screaming and shit, and then looks to the side and starts screaming to get it out... And then fucking seizes up. I was like, and that's gonna be even worse the second time we watch it, because you know it's actually fucking happening. But yeah, so the thing about it is that there's the story goes there's a huge rumble and then there's 3 knocks, and so you're just like, what's really interesting is that early on in the movie, way early on. When one of the first times that she wakes up, you can hear the knock, knock, knock way in the background.
I missed that part.
It's really quiet, but it's fucking there. And
back to topic status. I'm glad they don't tend to go super loud with some of those things. Like in cases like that, where it's just that little incy teensy bit where it barely registers, but that just makes it all the worse.
In your head.
Yeah.
But yeah, so at one point she's at home and there's a knock on the door, 3 knocks, goes and opens it, no one there, closes the door, 3 slams on the door, goes and opens it. The Babadook book that she tore up and threw away is sitting on the fucking doormat.
And now
it's been glued back together, and it has an addendum now depicting it possessing her and her killing her family and then herself. Her dog, her son, and then herself. and she freaks out, burns the fucking thing.
Yeah, that's valid.
Which, you know,
yeah,
it's funny because like the rational mind would go, you should save this as evidence. And I normally would go, you should save this as evidence. In any other movie. But I was sufficiently freaked out enough to go, burn that fucking thing. Yeah, fuck that. No, fuck this thing.
Yeah, send it back to the hell from whence it came.
I've seen the rain. I see where this goes.
Yeah. And for that whole act of the movie where she's just losing sleep and slowly losing touch with reality, it's really effective at juggling whether or not the thing's real.
Yeah.
And I think even if we watch it again, it's interesting to see her have that battle.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the real important question for you guys. What part what part got you the most?
I think it's like once it got around the point where she started going on the murder's intent, like with the dog, it just...
The poor dog. No, we all sat around like a circle majority of the movie like, oh god, the dog's gonna die now, the dog's gonna die now.
For me, I was like...
It was the first time where it's like, I thought the dog was dead when it seems like she first gets possessed, and all of a sudden, it's like, they walk up and all of a sudden the dog, it's like, oh, thank god.
It was funny because like when the dog first walks into the movie, just like with Horns, when I was like, that's the bad guy. It's like, I look at that and I'm like, that dog's gonna die.
To be fair, we all called the bad guy on that one.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just like that moment where you're just, yep. I can see that. That was pretty much the only thing I could fucking see coming in the movie.
Oh yeah,
actually.
absolutely.
Which is
very it fucking tells you that's what's gonna happen too. So.
Well, it tells you she's gonna kill her son too.
Yeah,
and then herself.
Well, he tries. Well, she tries.
Oh yeah.
Oh Jesus!
Dude, when she starts strangling him, I was like, "Are they gonna fucking actually do this?"
I know.
Oh my god!
So,
because back to the dog though, even though it's like normally not the way, it's not what they do, it's how they did it. It's just you don't even see. You see like above the dog's waist.
It's shot very, very tastefully, so to speak.
Basically, just
animal murder.
Yeah.
What a weird sentence to say.
But just you hear like it audibly gets more like frightened and like violent, and then just like flails around, and then it's just.
Yeah.
You don't even see it. Just the thing just goes limp, and then she just drops. Like, I had like this continuously contorting face.
Nobody was comfortable with the death of the cute dog.
I know. It's just. It's like, oh god.
Oh jeez.
It also did not help. My first dog when I was a kid was also named Bugsy.
Oh man. Oh dude.
It's okay. He was an asshole.
Okay. Well, you might have been okay with the death of the cute dog.
Well, it's been an interesting year, but that's
this
So I was like, oh, Bugsy. You're a prick, but you're my prick.
so dark.
No, I'm serious. Like when I was a little kid, that dog, that fucking Yorkshire Terrier, it's a tiny little bastard dog, would just at random times just snarl and chase us around the house for no fucking reason that we could think of.
Hey, it was the Babadook, except it possessed the wrong.
So we had to like jump on top of the counter just so the dog would stop chasing us.
Some freak variant of the Babadook that can only possess the small animals.
We call it the Babadog.
Babadook. It's the Dogadook.
Like the worst one I remember is the only time he caught me when I was not expecting it was I was just laying down on the floor and all of a sudden you're killing like Shuri. And I remember a little kid like the same size as the dog going. Ah!
It's like that Looney Tunes cartoon where that one cat tries to mess up like that weird dog and just it always goes. And it's like send the.
No, it's more in fact you can see the teeth coming at you. So it's like,
I basically saw you doing a Looney Tunes scramble in my mind, where the carpet just bunches up under you as you run in place, like
basically. Yeah.
Oh man. But anyway, God, what got me? Oh Jesus.
Oh God! It's like everything in the second half. You're just like.
Yeah, once it gets to the second half of the movie and it's in the house and it's just them and it's definitely in the fucking house. It was when she faces it down coming across the kitchen, I think, was the point.
Oh
where,
yeah.
Where she finally just stands and watches it come towards her instead of running away, and it just.
Oh, you mean the bedroom?
No. In the
kitchen,
downstairs in the kitchen. When I got goosebumps. You should remember the moment where I was doing this.
I'm trying to remember which part that was.
It's I think it's shortly after the dog died. But
No, it was before.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was before.
Whatever, it's all a nightmare. But like it basically she just looks into the darkness at the end of the kitchen and sees a slight shadow move.
Yes,
and
now
then it moves
I remember.
across the room, and then you start to see a shape slowly emerge from the darkness as it makes that weird little clicking. The sound. Yeah, no, stop it. But it just starts coming towards her. And then stands up tall and just goes, pretty much just bristles like a bird or something.
Yes, that you just like the spikes come out.
It reminded me more of a rattlesnake, to be honest. Like because you had that noise it would make, like the rattling sound. So it's almost like when a snake's trying to come, like warning you to back off, kind of thing. So it's like
a grim fairy tale version of Spawn.
Yeah, it's so fucking weird.
Nah, we're the clear clown, man.
Fair enough. And oh man. And can we just now that we're out of into like spoiler territory, can we just give that kid some fucking props?
Yeah, this kid was like ready for action. That
shocked me. It was just like how everything like that was some good damn foreshadowing.
Yeah,
everything they said in the beginning was like, oh shit, I forgot about all that.
Yeah, because like the kid's feels like he's ready for monsters. So he has like the catapult backpack. He has the crossbow with the dart and everything. He's got traps in the basement ready for this fucking thing, and he uses all of it when his mom becomes possessed and starts going after him.
Yeah, it's amazing how they made a kid who was believable the whole way through, and how he was scared and terrified, but when his mom was in trouble, the way that he stepped up was completely believable.
Yeah, like he's like, Mom, I can call someone.
Yeah.
I don't think you should be here.
Dude, when she's choking him above her and he just reaches out to stroke her face, I've never been so scared and horrified and wanted to cry at the same time. Like, I was like, oh my god, please don't actually snap his neck right now.
Yeah, I know. Like, after that point, you just had no idea the movie was going to go.
Yeah! It could go as bad as you need it to.
Like, it's gonna have a horrible ending, or I don't know what they're gonna do.
It was at one of those points like, please be good, please be good, please be good. Please be happy.
Like that moment later on in the kitchen where she's saying sorry after she's killed the dog and she's saying sorry to him and you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know. Yeah. And then she gets closer to him and then she's like, you're gonna see your dad again. And you're like, no, no. And that's when she's like here next to him with her hand on his shoulder near his throat.
It was on his neck,
like one hand was right here and you're like, ah.
Can you never do that again?
What the?
I'm just gonna go.
By the way, okay. Other things I wanted to mention, though, in terms of the creep factor, we didn't get to mentioning, the fact they have these outfits hanging around the house.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck?
I know, I'm just like, oh, God, that's going to turn into what, isn't it? It's like some did, some didn't, so it's like
there's a bunch of furniture. It's kind of at random times looks like it's almost like a person whose clothes who just magically disappeared,
they're even style. Yeah, it's like they're objects. They're even just outfits hanging on the wall.
Yeah, that's actually one of the early signs that I was like, that's not right. The kid didn't do that. And another thing where I was like, I thought it was real early on, but I had no idea what it could do.
Yeah.
I thought it could just be some boom, oh, it knocked the dresser over, because there's no way the kid can pull over that dresser.
Yeah.
When he's hiding on the bed,
somehow I knew he didn't do that though, just because the way he was basically just completely frozen in fear.
But they put that there so you know.
Yeah.
And it's very clear if you're willing to, not be a dick and listen to the kid.
Yeah.
When there's obvious evidence, but it's... Oh.
See, you guys keep talking about, I don't know if the Babadook is... I was always on board of, it's fucking real. You better fucking run. From minute one, I was always like, I knew it was no, it's real. Get out of there.
No, I knew it was real, but it's just the way... I'm just impressed with how well they played up that ambiguity.
Oh, no, they did. They did. I absolutely agree. I'm just saying from my perspective, it's oh, no, it's real. That kid's totally on the ball.
But here's the other thing. Was it, a thing I was asking myself as the movie was progressing was, will it get her to that point by possessing her or just by driving her fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
what I was
like
wondering
how
about,
much
too.
of it is actually her? How much of it is the Babadook? And like it's such, even if you know that it's real, you don't know what's happening.
That's true.
And you still don't know how much of what she's seeing is real.
Yeah.
Like her nightmare sequences,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
very effectively done.
I think the part that got me the most was, I think we talked about this a little bit as we're walking out, is the part where it was the second time I think the Babadook popped up, is the fact that he pops up in her bedroom, or like her and her son's bedroom, like son sleeps her sometimes. But she sees the shape kind of start coming towards, first time you actually see the damn thing, or at least a little bit.
Oh, just when the door opens, you see a little...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
And then she pulls the sheets over her and like really fucking close to the bed and makes that sound. And I'm
The
like,
skittering of like
the skittering of
nails
the bug
on-
sounds and that
Yeah.
shit.
It was like it was the sound of like dog nails on fucking hardwood, but bigger.
and then it just, and then it says that sound like right above the bed sheet. And I feel like I swear to God, this is my childhood nightmare. And I'm fucking seeing it.
I
And
know.
it's really fucking me
it
up
does
right
take
now.
you back to that shit. It takes you back to that whole like I'm gonna hide under the sheets. Oh God, what is it?
I think we were all just going, stare at the sheet, stare at the sheet, stare at the sheet, stare at the sheet!
Yeah.
Benji pulls out his nothing. I was like, oh God, this is gonna get worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the part
What
that
is it?
The little moments that got to me, like when she sees it standing behind her neighbor.
Oh yeah, that was great too.
Or the PD.
The what?
Oh, you remember seeing like
police.
the coat hanging in the background of the
Oh yeah, and she didn't know whether or not she could trust them or if they were stalking the one stalking her or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that was a great moment of paranoia.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, there were dude. And the stuff on the TV, man.
Oh yeah, like
Not
there's
just
a part
the-
where like she starts going in and out of like consciousness, and you see
Yeah.
like that creepy ass like exorcist face on TV.
Well, no, that's later on. I'm talking about the cartoon earlier.
Oh yeah,
with,
like the foreshadowing the sheepskin and like the wolf and sheepskin thing. Yeah.
before that.
Before
I
that,
mean, they're showing the movies, right?
Yeah, the movie. It looks like an old 19.
Oh yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
because
yeah.
some of those were, then I think they superimposed over that. Because
I know it looked so fucking well done.
Yeah, because I remember I recognized Georges Méliès's Trip to the Moon. That was like the only one that I could identify, though.
Yeah, there's.
And there are a few that I remember seeing.
What year
stuff.
does this take place in anyway? Is this modern
Present
day?
day.
or-
It's
is
modern.
Present day?
It's
Okay.
modern.
You can tell by that one douchebag's fancy car after
Oh yeah, it's true.
she was
Yeah.
freaking out and crashed
To be
into it.
fair, someone ruined just randomly swerved and crashed in my car. You're pretty
Yeah,
pissed too.
I know. It's like, I
But
think I
here's
totally
the thing.
understand.
Now, here's the thing. Even now, I don't know if she was just freaking out in that scene, or if it was actually the Babadook fucking with her.
Yeah, because like the very next scene, it's
She
like
was
dead
losing
silent.
it.
It's
Yeah.
like dead silent. The next scene, like not
Yeah.
even any sound effects, nothing.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, one other thing I did want to mention, though, that we didn't get to is basically how that Babadook even possession withstanding was basically her in terms of the idea of like how he mentioned the idea that's as you know that whole kind of like
Well, it found a person with a weakness, and it preyed
Yeah.
upon their demons.
pretty much because I mean it's because in that whole the thing in speech is like if you don't like what you see on the outside, then if you see what's really on the inside, you're gonna wish I was dead. Like I love that kind of related that as we mentioned that feeling she had towards her son, the idea of blame and what
Once
it
you
really
see what's
was.
underneath, you'll
Yeah.
wish you were dead.
Yeah.
Oh god.
It's like I do have one very minor complaint, very very minor, and that is with the kind of like the last confrontation, I guess.
It was those sound effects.
What?
Remember when they were using some of those little
No,
stock sound?
it was more just the fact that the ending, like the way she kind of deals with the Babadook, reminded me way too much of the remake of A House on Haunted Hill or whatever. That
the
movie-
haunt. Oh, yeah.
Well, you got.
It wasn't how it was. The haunting.
That was it, The Haunting. Yeah, and I was like, really, that's how we're gonna beat the monster?
Well,
I mean, I get why they did it, but to me, it's like it wasn't as, I guess, anticlimactic. Like,
Well, here's the thing with that for me is that a lot of the times, again, if you actually believe in the supernatural stuff, that's kind of what you have to do. You have to get to the point where it can't prey on your weaknesses anymore and stand up to it and lay your claim and let it
I
banish
guess so, and like the scenes I followed after, I thought made
Yeah.
that seem more effective. But at the moment, I was like, I was kind of like, I don't know. It seems like I almost felt like it was too easy. I mean, obviously, what came up to that point was not fucking easy. There was a goddamn exorcism in this movie, basically. But
Thankfully, it wasn't necessarily that can't even talk right now. Thankfully, that wasn't necessarily the end, as they still had, you know.
No, they still had the other things where it turns out the Babadook isn't really dead, and it now
Dude,
just lives in their fucking basement.
It's their fucking basement pet now.
Yeah, it's just
yeah.
I actually love that direction with it. Like,
no, I love that take, but it's just profoundly unsettling somehow.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that
idea,
actually gives her that security afterwards. It gives her that confidence.
The ironic thing is, like, that's supposed to kind of, you know, make you realize, okay, maybe she still has these feelings of resentment.
Well,
resentment.
Well,
but, you know.
let's put it this way. You can't exactly escape the past, can you?
Yeah, you know, as I said, you can't get rid of the Babadook. You know, you can't get rid of those things. It's just a matter of actually dealing with them as best you can.
I mean, despite the fact that it did turn out to be real, there's a lot of psychological factors and symbolism that go into the mere concept of a ghost and or a spirit of that kind that would take advantage of a vulnerable person.
And that's what I appreciate is that they're able to make the monster be a reflection of things going on as well, to not make it, you know, as you said, make it not just a simple like ghost or boogeyman story.
Man,
whew.
Yeah.
This is such a good fucking movie.
It is. Wow. This is really a fantastic fucking movie. It's easily one of the best I've seen all year.
If you've seen the trailer and it just seems kind of dumb, like, pay attention to the fact that it's like 94% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
for a good reason.
I mean, it was like, I love this fucking time of year for movies because we get all the good shit.
Yeah.
Between like this and Dear White People and Birdman.
I still need to watch
an Exodus.
Exodus.
We'll do that tomorrow.
Oh, way to ruin that for me, Moo. I was got a good vibe going.
We'll do that tomorrow. Hey, Horrible Bosses 2 was also pretty good.
Yeah, it was okay.
It was fun enough for what it was.
Yeah. Hopefully Exodus won't suck.
You didn't hate it. Admit it. You hate it now more after the fact because you found out that it was by the director of That's My Boy.
It did ruin my opinion a little bit.
See?
Yeah, you should see my reaction in the video.
That's pretty great, yeah. But, fucking 2 thumbs up.
Oh, hell yeah.
9 out of 10 at least.
It's like
solid. Just it's one of those quietly brilliant movies that doesn't have to go big to do a good job. It really did a great job as an indie film.
Yeah, like as I said, my only complaint's kind of minor was, as I mentioned, the sound effects used in the end. But even then, it's just the atmosphere is still so well done. It's like it bugged me for a split second. It's like, yay, back to scare. And then also that random guy that she was sort of kind of dating.
Oh, discount Chris Pratt?
Yeah. Oh, you got the same vibe I did! I said that to him. It's like, he reminds me of Chris Pratt when he's still chubby.
Yeah, I know, I heard you.
But I was just like, he just kind of came in and disappeared.
Wouldn't you?
Fair enough.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that's definitely a big thing within the movie. It's that everybody gets driven away.
Yeah.
Like he was just hitting on her at work, and he was just trying to be cool, and he's like, "Oh, I brought you flowers because your kid's sick." And first thing that happens, he finds out the kid's not sick. You've been lying, and the kid's a fucking asshole about it. And
yeah, look, the person is like.
And you're like, oh, that didn't go too well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wouldn't want to go back there either. I'd be like, you know what? There's a bit too much baggage here.
Yeah.
I'm going to come back in a few weeks.
You got a whole monster thing in your attic.
Speaking of which.
Basement.
I love how they end up turning out into one of the best jokes in the end of the movie.
What?
Which one? Oh, yeah. Yeah, when like the school people come in and she's like, are you having a party?
It's like, it's the first time we actually First time we celebrated, it's like, no, that's not true. There's one. It was like they mentioned
it's the only one we celebrate on the day. He goes,
yeah.
Oh, really? That's odd. My husband died that same day.
No.
Yeah, it's
she
like
doesn't
my
say
daddy.
that.
No, it's like my daddy died that day driving mommy to have me. Oh,
well, it's nice to have a party, isn't it?
It's like my cousin's not coming because I broke her nose in 2 places.
This is the part where you start playing the open music.
But that was why it was so beautiful at the end, though, to me, was the fact that she had learned to really love her son's quirk. Instead of being upset that nobody was dealing with it, just roll with it and love him for who he is and be like, y'all are in for some shit. He's a cool kid. Boy, you're gonna have an interesting time.
You know, it's funny actually. I've been editing my review of Winter's Tale the past few days, and there's this little girl in the middle of the movie where it's like it's played as charming and cutesy, but all you gotta do is swap out the music, and it turns into an entirely much more terrifying scene.
Yeah, it's very much like anything where like anything that a boyfriend who's really in love with a girlfriend it can be really, really cute and sweet or whatever. But you change that into someone who doesn't know the woman.
No. Let me explain the context of this, though.
Like some stranger comes up to your door like, I brought you flowers. You're like, ah!
Let me explain the context of this particular scene, though, because the whole thing is she's dying from consumption or some bullshit. And Consumption is like the old school term for tuberculosis.
Oh.
But I looked it up. Yeah, that's actually true.
Which movie is this?
Winter's Tale. It came out earlier this year. It's one of the most bizarre films I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
Yes, it is. It has Will Smith as playing Satan. Not kidding. And, yeah, I got your attention, didn't it? All right,
no,
anyway.
that caused me to go, maybe not that bizarre.
But anyway, the scene is Colin Farrell comes into the winter.
Oh, that one. Okay.
And she drags him to this garden, and she goes, "There's a bed lying in the middle of this garden," and she goes, "This is a princess bed. I had my people bring it in for me. I heard in a story that if you kiss someone on a princess bed, they don't die. So if she dies, you need to bring her in here so you can save her." Just like that. It has this really charming music in the background. It's like, this is really fucking creepy. So I just as an experiment, I swapped it out with the music from The Omen. And it changes the entire context of the scene.
Yeah, I can see that. But, okay, so.
I think we kind of said our final thoughts, but
yeah,
anything else you guys want to add?
No, just fucking awesome.
Yeah, there's just a mind... It'll mess you.
One of the most effective psychological thrillers
Yeah.
I've ever seen, ever.
It is.
Ever.
It's so hard to find a good horror movie.
It's hard to find a good boogeyman movie, especially.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
we all remember Boogeyman.
I mean, like, there's so many horror movies that you could do in so many different genres, but it's so rare to see someone do a boogeyman movie right. It's almost the same way that it's very hard to find someone to do a possession movie right. Mm-hmm. You know, there's so many exorcism movies these days.
Yeah, it's like, it's like, what was the last Conjuring's technicality?
Yeah, The Conjuring I didn't expect to turn into a possession film.
Yeah, that was
weirdly enough.
That was a decent horror film.
I actually enjoyed it. It wasn't like it was competent. But this is deeply effective.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, there's nobody went to go see it.
Yeah, we were like there were like 4 other people in the theater.
Something like that.
Well, that's why it's showing in this dinky little theater. But it's on fucking iTunes and shit. Go.
You have no excuse not to.
Go.
Oh,
it is.
Man.
Support the shit out of this movie. I want to see what whoever directed this. I want to see what they do next.
Yeah.
I'm really, really interested to see where they go next.
Especially these actors, too.
Oh, my God. Everything. Writing, acting, directing, lighting, cinematography, sound design, score. Fucking everything.
Damn right.
Okay, so we'll be going from that
to
Exodus tomorrow. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Good luck!
Let's watch Moses be played by a white dude.
Yeah. The funny thing, I'm just saying, Christian Bale as Moses still doesn't bug me as much as Joel Edgerton as Ramses. Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the guy, but
he just looks so freaky. It's
Christian Bale. It's one of those weirdly versatile actors that you could probably vary his race slightly and get away with it. Like, I would have totally been down to see him as Steve Jobs, with like as a half Syrian guy. Like, he could have pulled off that facial structure, but like,
really, Steve Jobs is half Syrian?
Yeah.
Huh. Things I learned.
Yeah, but yeah. So
this is an iPhone. Anyway. You will buy it! Anyway, so
where's the other iPhone?
Yeah.
Screw you, Microsoft! Anyway.
How do we get in contact you? With this. Just flash a giant apple in the sky.
What is this? Leverage. For what? To get things moving.
He disappears. They turn away and look back. He's gone. They turn away again. One more thing.
iPhone 6S.
Oh, that's coming. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway.
Okay, I think we're done.
Yeah.
So, see you all tomorrow, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Babadook.
have to do it the 3 times. That's dok, dok, dok.
Dok, dok, dok.
That was 4 times now. Bye!